Good morning. If everybody wants to come in, we still have some chairs down front. If you'd like to take a seat, we'll get started. Great. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jackie Lewis. I'm the Vice Chancellor for Advancement here at Mizzou, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us today on this very important occasion. I am pleased to be here with Dr. Chris Lorson, Professor of Veterinary Pathobiology and Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Studies, Dr. Gary Johnson, Associate Professor of Veterinary Pathobiology and Director of the Canine Genetics Laboratory here at Mizzou, and Orthopedic Foundation for Animals Board President, Dr. Francis O. Smith. We are thrilled to recognize very important supporters of Mizzou on this special day. Today's guests of honor are a tremendous example of what happens when you pair generous partners with a clear vision in order to change lives. Since its founding in 1966, the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals has done incredible work in service of their mission to promote the health and welfare of companion animals through a reduction of the incidence of genetic disease. The OFA has funded nearly $3 million in research focused on lessening the amount and frequency of inherited diseases in our companion animals. Beyond orthopedic maladies, their funding has supported research into cancers, heart disease, thyroid disease, and more. Their legacy is proof that a committed group working toward a common goal can change the world for the better from right here in Columbia. And that's why we're proud to partner with the OFA through our College of Veterinary Medicine. Together, we've conducted research and partnered on non-invasive DNA-based disease testing for animal owners. And today is another important step forward in our journey together. For today's announcement, I'd like to turn the floor over to Dr. Chris Lorson, Professor of Veterinary Pathobiology and Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Studies. Dr. Lorson.
All right, thank you very much. As Vice Chancellor Lewis stated, the University of Missouri College of Veterinary Medicine, through its Canine Molecular Genetics Laboratory, has long partnered with the OFA. And they've partnered to improve the health and lives of dogs. Dr. Gary Johnson and his team at MU have been pioneers over the last several decades in the discovery of novel genetic mutations and the development of diagnostic tests to rapidly identify these genetic conditions. His team has conducted thousands of DNA tests that have helped dogs and dog lovers by providing veterinarians with clear diagnostic evidence, as well as helping breeders avoid the propagation of these debilitating and often deadly genetic traits. Through its research, the lab has so far discovered more than 50 mutations that are likely responsible for a variety of heritable diseases. Among the lab's discoveries are links between mutations in the DNA of dogs and people that are responsible for neurological disorders like Batten's disease and ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. That we are able to announce this gift on World One Health Day, when we focus our attention on the intersection between people, animals, and plants in our shared environment, and how multiple disciplines working together to improve the health of all is particularly rewarding. Two of the OFA's previous executive directors were CVM radiology professors, including Dr. Al Corley, for whom this endowment is named. Dr. Corley served on the College of Veterinary Medicine faculty from 1966 until his retirement in 1989, at which time he took over as the director and later president of OFA. In 1996, he retired from the OFA but continued to read radiographs as a consultant until shortly before his passing in 2017. It is my pleasure to announce the Dr. E.A. Al Corley OFA Program Endowment. The OFA has established this endowment with a pledge of $1.5 million. The vision of the OFA board in establishing this endowment is to further solidify the longstanding collaboration between MU and the OFA by ensuring that the important work that takes place within the Canine Molecular Genetics Laboratory continues. In addition to annually conducting about 9,000 DNA tests for 40 different mutations for breeders, vets, and dog owners, the lab's research could lead to new therapeutic discoveries and clinical treatments for genetic diseases. Equally important, the lab also houses a repository for irreplaceable DNA samples that now number more than 150,000. Researchers from around the world use these samples in their own investigations and their own research programs. By supporting the continuation of this repository, and the endowment will have a ripple effect of advancing science locally, but also globally. Before I invite Dr. Gary Johnson to the podium, on behalf of the college and dog lovers everywhere, of whom I am one of them, and my dog Twain would be upset if I didn't mention that, I want to thank the OFA and its board of directors and its chief operating officer, Eddie Zook, for entrusting the university with the investment in the future of the canine and human health. Eddie? And with that, I'd like to invite Dr. Johnson to come up.
Thank you, Chris. It isn't lost on me that the final arrangements for this were first voiced by you, and I think without your contribution in the beginning, this may not have happened, so thank you. I'm sorry that Dean Henry can't be here because she also was a very strong supporter of this, and I know she would be here if it was medically possible. So we miss her, but she'll be back, and I do appreciate all of her help on this. I really am grateful for this gift. It wasn't to me, it was to the university, and I know that, but it has a big impact on me. A year and a half ago, before I knew OFA was interested in this, it was clear that there was no way that they would be able to replace me once I retired, and that the program would come to an end. Now, I'm about 4 months younger than Joe Biden. A year and a half ago, he was looking forward to 7.5 more years in his job, and at least he was saying that publicly. He may be a lot healthier than me, but I wasn't that optimistic about my own future. And so we were really looking at kind of winding things down, trying to get to a soft landing. I told some of my longtime employees that if they got a chance to find employment elsewhere, they should take it. And we began to look at models like maybe transferring some of the tests that we do to the diagnostic lab, or engaging some other commercial laboratories so that the unique tests that we do would still be available to veterinarians and dog owners. And then I heard about the endowment possibility, and I just said, all right, we're going to make this happen. And my life changed. And we were pushing ahead. It was new collaborations. We have new collaborations with folks in Sweden, England, Belgium, France. We have new discoveries. We've come up with a new form of lysosomal storage disease, one of only 40 that have been discovered in the history of human science. We pushed ahead. My very talented graduate student, Gerrit Bullock, has gone off into a whole new realm of science, single nuclear RNA-seq, and is finding cell types in dorsal ganglia that never were imagined before. I'm having more fun these last years than I've had at any time in my life, and I would much rather be doing this than sitting on a beach somewhere. So from that personal reason, I am grateful. But I also think that in a more global sense, there's a lot we all should be grateful to the OFA and their vision here. Yesterday I attended Dr. Ostad's very interesting talk. A lot of it was about health of the growing elderly population, which caught my interest. I sat in the front row and I stayed awake for the whole hour. But one of the things I learned was that the idea of One Health is a little different around in other parts of the country than it is here. Here, I simply thought it meant that the disease processes in one species were similar to the disease processes in other species. And so if you took what you learned about one species, you could apply that and understand the disease in other species. And long before anybody ever coined the phrase One Health, veterinary researchers have used that. We know that almost everything we know about the disease mechanisms in our domestic animals were learned either from study of human patients or from rodent models. And so we've been doing One Health before we knew what it was called for many years. But honestly, I probably would have, if I had better sense, I wouldn't bring this up, but I am going to. It's been kind of a mixed blessing, the One Health concept. The idea that the only value of veterinary research is that can be also applied to human health. And that, we never thought about that in 1980 when I came here. That was the department I joined was the Department of Veterinarians, and we were interested in the health of animals, and we did research with the purpose of the health of animals. And if it had secondary benefits to human health, that was all great. We thought that was wonderful, but it wasn't our cause. And I think we as an institution and maybe other veterinary schools around the country have kind of let our research be hijacked by the One Health concept, so that if it doesn't have value for human health, it is secondary, it isn't important. Now, I know from talking just to my neighbors that the College of Veterinary Medicine is a very favorable, it's very well liked by the folks out there in the country. Everybody likes, no matter what your political persuasions are, everybody likes veterinary medicine, everybody wants and supports veterinary research. But if you ask them, why do you support it? Nobody is going to say, because there are spin-offs for human health. They're going to say it's because it helps the health of my livestock and helps the health of my pets. That's why we're popular. And the one thing about OFA and the $3 million that they've given, including some to us, which I much agree with, they never ask, is there a spin-off for human health? They understand that veterinary research is important in and of itself, and that it is a worthwhile goal for colleges like the College of Veterinary Medicine at the University of Missouri. And I apologize in advance for whoever I've offended on this, but I did, as a parting shot, I wanted to get it off my chest. So thank you all.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Fran Smith. I'm the president of the OFA, and I'd like to extend a sincere thank you to the University of Missouri leadership, faculty, and students, as well as the staff from the OFA for joining us for this major gift announcement. As a veterinarian and a theriogenologist for more than 40 years, and a Labrador breeder my entire adult life, my association with the OFA is a source of immense pride, knowing the positive impact we continue to have on canine health. I will tell you, I have been privileged to work with board members at the OFA board for a very long time, and you will never meet a group of individuals who is more pure in spirit and dedicated to a goal. Founded in 1966, the OFA is a nonprofit foundation, and we have contributed more than $3 million to canine health research and educational initiatives to institutions worldwide. but a single gift of this size and magnitude is a first for us. For many years, we have supported different research grants with different researchers in other areas in varying amounts of money, but nothing like the gift that we are doing today. Based on our positive relationship with Mizzou that spans decades, we are excited that our first major gift will benefit the College of Veterinary Medicine at the University of Missouri. The OFA's mission is a simple but noble one: to promote the health and welfare of companion animals through a reduction in the incidence of genetic disease. Focused on Dr. Gary Johnson's Canine Molecular Genetics Laboratory, this gift falls directly in line with that mission. Our intent is to ensure the long-term continuity and viability of Dr. Johnson's lab and continue its prolific research, continue to offer commercial DNA test offerings, and the maintenance of the invaluable collection of samples in the DNA bank. As has previously been mentioned, those samples are vital to ongoing research and as an ongoing resource to researchers all over the world. I also need to acknowledge that the gift has been named the Dr. E.A. Al Corley Program Endowment, an imposing figure with an impressive set of accomplishments. Dr. Corley left his mark with both the OFA and the University of Missouri CVM. He joined the MU faculty as a professor of veterinary medicine and surgery in 1966 and later became an associate dean. He was also involved in the founding of the OFA in 1966, and after his retirement, became the OFA's executive director. Even after his retirement from the OFA, he continued to share his expertise and knowledge as a consulting radiologist until the time of his passing in 2017. And anecdotally, I know he signed a number of the radiology reports I got on Danik Labradors that said OFA excellent. There was no bias there, but he did sign them. The OFA owes a great deal of its success to Dr. Corley's leadership throughout the years, and this named program endowment is a fitting legacy to honor his contributions to canine health. And I would personally like to thank all here at Mizzou who helped us organize it, and also to thank Eddie Zook, our COO, who, without the foresight and vision that he had, we could never have accomplished this. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Frances. The OFA's commitment to the future of the Canine Genetics Lab at Mizzou is inspiring. And thank you to the OFA once again for your trust in Mizzou and for this tremendous gift. We're so thankful for the philanthropic support of our partners who are committed to make our shared goals a reality, as well as the chance to get together and celebrate these incredible milestones. So that concludes our program for today. I hope you will join us for some light refreshments as we continue to celebrate this important milestone. Thank you for being with us.